Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Winter Season Showdowns, where we're currently watching the best players in the world fight tooth and nail for a spot at the Winter Championship in Dallas, Texas on March 15th. Before we head into Game 2 of this best of 5 between Vibe and Illusion, MLGProShop.com. If you're looking for MLG swag, if you're looking for a mouse that has an MLG logo on it, if you're looking for a gift for a friend, a family member, head on over to MLGProShop.com. Lots of awesome swag there, apparel, of course, branded by MLG. So it's a great way to support MLG while at the same time buying awesome clothing. So again, check that out. So that being said, speaking of fighting tooth and nail, we got Illusion and Vibe. What a crazy game one.
It was absolutely insane. That's one of the best games I've seen in StarCraft 2. Top 10 probably. Just so back and forth. The abducts throughout the game were so cool.
Yes.
And they let Vibe fight from an economic deficiency throughout the whole game. I mean,
yeah.
he was trading favorably. But Illusion with the mules and the draw play just took that economic advantage, got the bigger army, and took that first game.
Here we are in game number 2 in the bottom right-hand location. We have the Red Zerg player on Root Gaming, who is currently down 0-1. He has some real estate to work with. Can he tie up this series? In game number 2, he is Vibe. His opponent in the top left-hand location, considered one of the best, if not the best, North American Terran. On Team Mouse, he is Illusion, displaying phenomenal multitasking ability in game number 1 and showing how effective a bio army can be. Opening up with a gas this time, though, which is complete opposite of what he did in game 2. Or game 1, excuse me.
Game 1, yeah. Of course, game 1 with the command center first. Now with the fast gas opening, well, not fast. I mean, barracks before gas, so it's not going to be like a crazy fast factory. I would expect to see a Reaper come out of here, but it could be something else. I wouldn't be overly surprised, but I'm really predicting the Reaper. Reapers in Heart of Swarm are significantly better than they were in Wings of Liberty. Of course, at first glance, everyone's like, Reapers are terrible now. They don't get that bonus to light. They can't, like, 2-shot or 3-shot workers, or 2-shot Zergians. Why should I even bother making it?
Well, first of all, you don't need a tech lab. Second, they have something called combat drugs, which enable you to regen your health out of combat, and they are very quick. So we'll have to see how Illusion decides to use this, of course. Let's see if he builds... He could potentially try to hide a bunker. I don't expect him to be able to get away with that, though. But the important thing here is keeping the Reapers alive, because as they scale up, they get so much more effective.
They do, and the big difference is now they're so much more durable. They have a lot more life than they used to. 60. They moved to the 60 life. Combat drugs, like you mentioned, and their fast speed. In the hands of a good player, they just will not die. And yes, they don't clean this as fast, but they still will eventually kill them, and it adds up, right? 1 drone, 2 drone, 3 drone. Your Reapers are...
Oh my gosh. Vibe, great control there, able to keep those 2 drones alive. They're getting very low on health, but he turned them into a spine. And 2 spines! Illusion desperately trying to get a drone kill, but Vibe saying, no way, man. I'd rather make those guys into buildings. Great play there from Vibe.
Absolutely phenomenal there. Of course, he's still losing a little bit of minerals.
Sure.
But it's because of the cancel, but it's much, much, much better than actually losing those drones. But look at this. The Reapers don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get as many kills off the bat, but it's just continual damage. And look at that guy. He's regenerating. They're so fast that Zergians can't touch him. Vibe should have, I don't know how to phrase that, but whatever. The spine that he made, he should have let it finish almost, because he's remaking one a little bit deeper into his natural expansion, and now drones are falling. Illusion getting so much damage down here. Man, remember we talked about Illusion's micro in that first game, how he's so known for that, and his multitasking, and we're seeing it here, the Reaper control. He's doing so much damage, and behind us, of course, expanding and adding, a lot more barracks being added back. Illusion's base is going to continue to harass. And you know what? You can even go head-to-head with Queens. The old Reapers can do that.
Nope.
New ones say, I don't even care. I'll regenerate.
But
now,
the spine crawler is being sent for now.
So now they have to go into back way.
Lots
That's all
more,
it means. It doesn't mean your harass is over.
Yeah.
It means you go into back way. Of course, they lock the front door. That's why you would lockpick, use your little jetpack, sneak in the back.
Yeah. And that could be very effective if Illusion decides to hop up there. Of course, there's always a danger that there's units waiting above, so we'll have to keep an eye on how these guys control this, of course. Illusion, as you said, making a lot of barracks behind this. Oh, and the Reaper's going to jump up into the natural expansion. Drones trying to run. One gets very low on health, but going to stay alive, and the Reaper's just going to head out. Still no casualties there for Illusion.
Great play to stick a unit's lost tab, and look at that. I mean, he lost, one SCV, and he had to cancel a bunker. Right, so that's the 75 resources there, 25 from the bunker cancel, 50 from the SCV. But he's done a lot of damage, and he's got a great scout on his opponent. And, it's so common. You see people follow up with a very fast third CC. The third CC would already be done because there's so much map control. And that's what Vibe may be expecting. But Illusion is not. He's following this up with a ton of barracks. Reactored out Hellions. He's going to hit a very strong Tommy attack, perhaps his combat shield Marines, or maybe just going straight for Stem. And I don't know if I will be ready for the follow-up.
All right, Hellions heading into the main. Reapers of the natural expansion. My observing skill is going to be tested here. One Reaper finally getting taken out there as a Queen getting very dangerously close to falling. The drones might have to engage. Getting this around, and the Reapers will end up falling. Meanwhile, the Hellions do get scooped up there in the main. The 12 workers killed there for Illusion. Income is 34 to 32. Units lost is 792 to 575. That's okay for Vibe, I think.
Yeah, the last harass, I mean, Illusion did so well early in the game, but that last harass, losing the Reapers and the Hellions wasn't part of the plan. And now Vibe's kind of, he's got his safety net down. I mean, he's still down in food, but he's got us there halfway done. Illusion hasn't even started his third CC yet. Instead, has been cranking out units. The big question now is going to be, can Vibe find an answer to this massive timing attack that's going to hit him, basically as soon as combat shields finishes?
All right, Illusion coming across the field here with 4 Hellions. Going to take a look at that third base, but it does not exist. Meanwhile, his opponent is going to be taking up to layer, so an Illusion should be aware of this fact. So it should be interesting to see how he reacts. Their third base on the way. No third.
No, he's gearing all for time. You know what's weird? Illusion's timing is late enough. It usually be a stim and combat shield timing, but he's just not going to have a stim pack. And without, I mean, unless he just doesn't go and attack, he just stays on. Yeah, he has to. And what's kind of interesting about that is that without stim pack, the roaches are going to be so much more effective because you can't kite them as well. And that's going to be a big difference. Of course, he may just have enough units. He doesn't even need to kite. He's got 3 Marauders, a lot of Marines. He's got Hellions there to help deal with any Zergians that are in the mix. And Vibe took enough damage early on. His roach count is not the biggest.
All right, Vibe just now seeing what his opponent has in store for him. We have +1 missile attacks on the way, roach speed on the way. That's a lot of Hellions. That's a lot of Marines and Marauders. Stim just now starting here from Illusion, but again, he might not even need it in this engagement. Spineclaw on the high ground. Roaches turning around to engage. Going to back up still more. 3 Queens have a decent energy trying to transfuse the Spinecrawlers. Big engagement going to happen here. Vibe with a decent concave, but Illusion trying to power through. It looks like Vibe should barely have enough to deal with this.
It looks like he is. The Hellions should probably retreat as they're all that's left. More reinforcements coming from Illusion. He retains the supply advantage, but remember, there's no third command center behind us. He does have, some upgrades going on. Armory's on the way as well to continue those upgrades. I think, okay, Stimpak's on the way. That's good. No starport yet, though, as well. So,
wow. Illusion going to try to sneak by with some Hellions here. Let's see if he can get away with this. A Queen coming forward, taking down 1. Should take out a second. The Spineclaw, remember, died a little bit earlier. Now more roaches popping out. Illusion throwing away those Hellions for free.
Definitely just kind of, on the one hand, they covered the Marines' retreat. Remember, Marines did not have steam, roaches. Marines don't have stim, excuse me.
Can turn into battle Hellions later.
That is true. That's something that's very, very, very scary. Of course, I think he's going pure bio, so we might not want to invest in that upgrade, the transformation upgrade. Meanwhile, Vibe is heading up here. He's attacking some of these depots. Is he going to break Illusion?
He takes down 1 bunker. Illusion potentially caught off guard a little bit here. Has a nice concave with the Marines and Marauders. It looks like Vibe is going to back away. Yes. We'll back away. Oh, Stim is... Oh, Stim got contaminated.
Contaminated. Nice move by Vibe there, delaying it so he can do as many pokes with these roaches as possible before Stim completes. Of course, once Stim is finished, roaches out in the field can be ran down by the Stim file. But wait, these 2 medevacs...
They're going to get spotted here.
And Vibe could launch an attack right now. Is that what he's going to do?
Unless they're fake medevacs.
Oh, that's true. Or maybe Vibe's going to play it safe, head back to defend the drops, of course. That's always a safer option. Going for attack, he might have done some damage, but there's still a lot of Marines being rallied out of those barracks. I think Illusion still would have been fine. Illusion finally that
He's
third...
even salvaging his bunker then.
Yes.
Very confident.
Yeah, very, very confident. Well, he saw the Roaches retreat. Double drop heading down to third. Is he going to get the hatchery? The Roaches are just moments away from there. I think he should be fine here.
All right, Roaches coming in here trying to scoop up these Marines, but...
he could just jet it right into the main.
He could. I think he's on cooldown. Cooldown is up just now.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, even without the...
Sure. He could have.
A little bit risky. You don't know what the Zerg has there in waiting, but...
Yep.
Illusion going to continue upgrades. Vibe going the same route as the last game, Roach Hydra. Illusion's third is just now being landed, but he's really cranked up his production. He's starting to add in the tanks. He's got a lot of barracks producing, more barracks on the way. He hasn't add-ons. Oh, jetting back into third, but Vibe with the roaches there to deflect the drop.
Yep, the drop is going to retreat. We have a scan there from Illusion. Spotting that base, the middle right-hand side. But again, he set up his third base, getting those production down, buildings down. 2-2 on the way as well. So really going to start hyper-producing the bile like we saw in the last game. And of course, continuing with that oh-so-important medevac production. So it looks like at this point in time, things are going to start evening out a little bit. These guys are going to be relatively passive for a little bit, trying to set up their additional bases, set up their production facilities, and we see Vibe going into the Hydra production. It looks like both players going for similar unit compositions as in the last game.
Looks very, very similar. One key thing, though, is Vibe's Hive Tech is not quite as fast. The Infestation Pit is just now starting to produce, and why that is so important is that Illusion is going to be out of maxed out army before Vipers are out on the field, and
Blinding Cloud. You need that.
Yeah, a maxed out Terran. I don't know how Vibe is expecting to be able to beat that without the use of Blinding Cloud.
All right, let's see if Vibe can get that on time. A very bold Queen going to get slaughtered there in the middle of the map. There goes a scan from Illusion trying to get rid of that creep. And now we're going to start seeing the multi-pronged harassment that Illusion is so good at. Sending a double drop down to the middle right-hand side to that fourth base of Vibe. Meanwhile, going to be backing up that other medevac. Trying to see, he does have
looks like there's one medevac going into the third as well.
Yeah, we have the drop going in there. There's a Spore Caller there. That's not going to be enough to deflect. He's going to go straight into the main base as the drop is heading into that fourth. Vibe returning some units back to try to deal with that. Queen trying to take down this medevac, but the Marines are going to be dropping a stim very shortly and target down that Queen. Vibe returning some units back into his main, and it looks like that didn't do too much at all.
No, an excellent parry by Vibe, and we were talking about the danger of a maxed out Terran when there's no Vipers, but you know what? Illusion, he threw away 20 food there for just about nothing.
Yeah.
That might give Vibe the chance he needs to get to those Vipers. Well, Hive Tech is still just started now, so I think Illusion still has that timing, and he's mobilizing. The blue ants are moving out of their hive, starting to crow out across the map here.
Vibe has to be careful. Again, there's a bit of a timer here. I don't know if it's just straight up Roaches and Hydras can deplete a Marine Marauder tank army like this. Vibe needs to take his opponent off guard. He's going to try to engage at the top here before the tanks are in siege. There's the stim, but Vibe, I don't think there's any running from this.
No, I mean, Roach Hydra just cannot compete with Bio once both the armies scale up unless you got that support. Vibe's trying to make some trades to slow down Illusion's army progression, but he's got to buy a lot of time. The hive is still not even finished.
Yeah, Hive is about 80% of the way done, of course. Only when the Hive is done can you start producing those Vipers, and then, of course, you need the time to consume to actually get the energy required to be, to be cost efficient, to be able to lay down a lot of blinding clouds. Vibe coming forward does not want that creep to recede at all, and I love the adjustments we're seeing out of Vibe, considering Game 1 into Game 2. Hold that thought. Oh, okay, he's going to back away. As far as static defense is concerned, we haven't seen the drops do nearly as much damage as they did in Game 1, and that's because he's got 3 Spore Callers on this base at the bottom middle. He's got a Spore Caller here at the middle right, adding on Spines as well, and it looks like, yeah, 4 Spines there. So really identifying what gave him a lot of trouble in the last game and adjusting for it here in Game number 2.
He is. Illusion still being able to cancel that 5th base over the top right, but the big story is Vibe is buying time for those Vipers.
Yep, got 2 in production.
And look at that creep spread. That's his buying him time. Illusion didn't really seize the opportunity. I feel there's about a 4-minute window. If he just attack move across the map, he would have been game over. But now the Vipers are on the field, and those can potentially change everything. Of course, even with Vibe. Oh! Vibe needs a little bit too close.
Don't want to go into chokes. Don't want to go into choke like that.
No.
But yeah, both these players are showing a lot of respect for each other. I feel like that's what's happening here. Setting up those additional bases. Illusion showing a lot of patience, denying that top right base while securing this middle left base for his own. Looks like he's setting another medevac up there, but he might have been seen by Vibe. Yes, there's only 2 Marines inside though, so that's not going to do too much whatsoever. Is it worth it? I'm trying to wonder, what do you leave back home to make sure this expansion gets up? It's such a tricky decision.
I mean, maybe you got to send an extra squad, but while he's striking at the top right, and Drop sitting here at his 3rd, and you know he's got a couple Spore Cores, but Illusion knows where they are. He definitely maneuvers outside of them, taking out the Queen. He's going to continue to do damage, and Vibe's going to have to send his whole army back home. He's going to clean this up, but while he's doing that, maybe Illusion can poke forward, get rid of some creep.
There we go. Adding on the spines, there is Vibe, and going to be killing his own hatchery there with that consume ability from the Vipers, of course, accumulating him some more energy on those, well, again, depleting the health from that hatchery. And now he might feel confident to try to go for an engagement. Looking at the upgrades really quick, we see 2-2 here for Vibe, but 3 armor, 2 weapons there for Illusion, but plus 3 missiles about to finish, plus 3 weapons about to finish. So Illusion is going to have an upgrade advantage very soon.
Maxed out Terran Bile Ball, very, very tough for Zerg to beat in Heart of the Swarm. He's trying to hit from multiple angles. I don't know if the flank's going to work, though. The more he spreads the battle, the less effective blinding crowds are. And now the small Hydra Force is caught off guard, and Lucian's going to chase it down.
Vibe trying to come in with multiple angles, but the danger of this is you might only end up engaging with half your army. That's pretty much what happens here. The left side of the army getting taken out there by Illusion, but Vibe trying to extend on the right-hand side. Illusion is just going to turn around and potentially deal with that. Overseer's getting taken down as well. 25 Hydras are in production here from Vibe. And Vibe is going to have to back away. Not the best engagement there.
No, I mean, he took out about 5 or 6 tanks, but he lost so much in doing so. Not to mention all that Viper energy. Illusion seizing the moment, not waiting to clear creep, knowing he's got decisive advantage right now. Now getting rid of some of that creep tumors, but he's bent on moving across the map and exercising the power of the Marine.
Watch out for the blinding cloud. There they go from Vibe, but how effective can it be when there's this much bio on the field? Lots of Hydras here with that high DPS churning away on the Marines and Marauders, and Vibe might just have enough to clean this up.
Oh, he takes all the bio out, but the medevacs important units, they get away there. But Vibe's got to be happy with the way that went. Meanwhile, a drop over here isn't going to be deflected. Did Vibe leave enough units back? And looks like...
I think he did.
I don't think so. The medevac's can out-heal that Roach without a problem.
Those two Marines aren't going to do much.
No, they're not. But, you know, they felt pretty good about taking out that force. You know, a little bit of a win right there. Illusion continuing to progress up. Look what he's doing now. He's now adding in Hellbats 4 at a time. Double upgrading out of armories, adding a second starport, and the Hellbats are excellent tanking units, the best ones the Terran army has to deal with, so that can help buy his Marines time to get that damage done. Vibe looking to engage.
Trying to target fire down some medevacs and trying to get out of there at the same time. Illusion stimming forward, trying to find, all right, what does he have lurking in the darkness? And he sees nothing, so he's going to continue stimming forward and pursuing that army, but once he gets near that creep, he gets a little bit scared, so he's going to back up. Now, he does have the space at the middle left, also setting up another command center, might lift that down to the space at the bottom. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. And now we have the interesting situation of these guys having bases very close to each other. Illusion needs to identify these extra bases and do as much as he can to deny them, and it looks like he's starting to do that. Has a drop heading to the top right, and Vibe doesn't have a lot of static D up here to potentially defend against this drop.
Exactly. Trying to control the top right and the bottom at the same time is very, very, very difficult.
All right, there goes the medevac at the bottom left. We also have a medevac drop at the top right, and another one looks like heading into the third base. Looks like Vibe is going to clean this one up, but it looks like one Marine was dropped there, and this medevac should be taken out fairly shortly. Going to go try to get into the natural expansion, and wow, he's actually going to get some damage done here to some drones. So Vibe caught a little bit off guard by this. The hatchery is going to get transfused. Can Vibe get back in time to hold that off? At the same time, Illusion is going to press through the middle of the map with a big bio army.
He's going to take this opportunity when Vibe's on retreat to get into a good position. He's got a few tanks in his army, plenty of Hellbats, a lot of Marines. If he can get a seized position,
he's in between his bases.
Yeah, it's going to require Vipers to deal with it, but the Vipers are on the right side of the map. Vibe's bottom left base is going to go down.
He needs to bro these drones.
Oh, he does.
But now might be too late.
Yeah. I mean, he still might as well force a scan, but Illusion will see it into action and surely get that scan off. Vibe's not even a waste of time on it, it looks like.
Illusion, while this is going on, realizing his opponent is probably coming to deal with that, sending units to the top right. Illusion, once again, is everywhere. He's always doing something with his bio army, trying to spread his opponent out as much as possible. He might end up denying this top right base.
Oh, he will. That hatchery is going to go down. Vibe realizes it, sends a few roaches to try to clear up that army, but Vibe's been reset down to 4 bases. Illusion's 5th is turning into a planetary. Vibe's got Broodlords out in the field now, adding more and more Queen's Transfuses. Could be the key ingredient that he needs to defeat Illusion's army, but even if he beats the army, look at the bank Illusion's been able to acquire.
Yeah, 4,000, 3,000. At what point do you pull an axslav and drop all the starports with tech labs and go into Raven production? Illusion, though, he's going to try to get something done with these Marines and Marauders. There are Broodlords here, Hydras, lots of Vipers. Here we go. Big engagement going to happen here. The Vipers extending forward. Going to try to throw the Blinding Clouds. There go the Blinding Clouds. Broodlords trying to stay in the back. The Hydras trying to get the DPS going onto the Marines and Marauders. Vibe doing okay at this point, actually cleaning up a large majority of his army, and he's going to have plenty enough to take care of Illusion there.
An extremely cost-efficient trade for Vibe, losing almost nothing that engagement, cleaning up all of Illusion's army. And that is the first step he needs to make a comeback.
He needs to set up these extra bases, though. That's so important right now. He has a very narrow time where he can get that done, get some static D down, maybe even identify that his opponent has a space at the middle left, potentially try to deal with that because he just gave himself a great army advantage. However, again, we talked about it. Illusion's mega bank, which means he's going to start mass-producing units, and he's going to be remaxed instantly.
But he's got to wait for his units to be produced. Why is that 180 food? About 40 of that food is in the production tab.
Can Vibe take advantage?
Yeah, if Vibe pushes right now, Illusion needs about another minute to get his units out on the field. Vibe's pushing forward. In this army, the Vipers still have energy left. There's still a lot of Broodlords. The Queens are trailing behind, but the Hydra count is large.
Illusion is maxed. Again, a lot of that is in production, though. A lot of Vikings on the way. Lots of Thors on the way as well. Going to try to yoink forward the Vikings. The Hydra's taking those down in a matter of seconds, of course. Taking care of the Vikings is very important, so you can protect, you can preserve those Broodlords. Illusion coming forward again. Has to be careful. Has to avoid those Viper abducts. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't try to abduct that Thor, but we'll keep an eye on that. These guys are both essentially maxed. Vibe setting up bases back home behind this. There goes another yoke onto those Vikings. 2 Vikings abducted, 3 taken out there by Vibe, and those are very important units for Illusion.
They are, but Illusion's cracking them out 4 at a time, and Vibe's running out of energy on those Vipers.
Oh, here comes the Stin. The Vipers coming forward. No blinding clouds placed down just yet. Does he have enough Hydras, though, where it doesn't matter? Does he have enough Broodlords? There's the abduct onto the Thor. Vibe trying to clean up Illusion's army, but this time, I'm not sure if he has enough.
The Vikings, there's so many Vikings in the air. The Hydras are trying to get rid of them, but now the ground force Illusion crumbles to the Broodlords.
Vibe needs to
there's only one Broodlord left. Illusion's unit rally is so strong.
Oh, I'm so scared for Vibe right now. Hydras off creep, no fun. And these Queens are going to get tagged out.
The Queens are now Vibe's in a retreat, but his army is entirely Hydraless. As soon as Illusion can reproduce his Marine count, his Hellbat count, his tank count, those Hydras are not going to stand a chance. Vibe, meanwhile, has been able to reestablish that bottom left base, so now it's 5 bases to 5 bases, but look at where each of their 5th bases are, right basically a stone's throw away. Both of them need to hold their 5th bases. For Illusion...
he's out of money just like that, by the way. Remember that bank he had?
Yes, it's gone. So now it's a very even game money-wise, but I feel like Illusion's got the better unit composition. Vibe is very Hydraless heavy. The support units, the Brooders and the Vipers aren't quite there. A few more Vipers being added now, but there's so many Vikings from Illusion.
Look at this army.
That's a scary army.
It's terrifying. So many Vikings above. I don't see Broodlords being very
command center goes down.
Nice snipe there from Vibe. He's going to back up, though, potentially try to set up a concave.
I don't know how he can deal with this army.
I'm trying to think about what he needs to add on. I guess just abducting is going to be really important here for the Vipers.
Abducting or maybe blinding cloud before they'll die. I mean, the thing is it's only going to be about a concave. If he can get all his Hydras into action very quickly. Oh, but Illusion's going to try to force him to charge up this ramp.
Oh, he's going to stim down with those Marines. The Vipers coming forward. The Vikings going to try to kite back and take down the Vipers. Doing a great job. There goes the blinding cloud onto the Thors. Vibe has to go, extending forward with the Hydras, but a couple Hydras getting trapped in his own blinding cloud. Is that going to prove the difference? Vibe ahead 166 to 143 in supply. Does he have too many Hydras? Illusion desperately trying to stay alive here. Tank doing a lot of damage from the back, but Illusion is going to get shoved away, and at the cost of this base in the middle left that's so important. There's also a drop happening in Vibe's base at the middle right, but Vibe cleaning up Illusion's army with ease.
And look at that. I mean, the blinding clouds were just perfect there to neutralize the Thors, which were the main DPS. He's trying to go into planetary. The planetary can't shoot. It's got blinding cloud on it. And just like this, Illusion is crumpled.
He has no money.
He's got no money. He's got barely any income. Only 5 crystals left at that 4th base of his. Vibe has his 5th base going pretty well. He's got to move some drones here. He's got a lot of his 3rd. He's taking the 6th base at the upper right. He's even got another base in the mid-right that he was able to beat that drop off of. Illusion, he's got to find a move soon because he's running out of units.
I don't know if he has the composition to take this army, straight up against Vibe. So I think he needs to do what he's best at, which is the multitasking ability. Really try to spread Vibe out, kind of cross your fingers and hope he doesn't attack you. But, just try to deny these additional bases because that's the big advantage that Vibe has right now. It's those additional mining bases that Illusion doesn't have.
It looks like Illusion's going to make a move on this bottom left section of the map, saying this land is my land. Plenty of Marines, plenty of Hellbats. Vibe still, Vibe did lose all of his Vipers in last engagement, but now he's rebuilt.
He's got 6 now.
He's rebuilt another swarm with him, and these things are so instrumental. Illusion going for a drop play here in the bottom left.
Another very intense, very close
And
match we have.
This drop is so important because these units, he can't replace them easily. He's just now trying to get that bottom left going. But if Vibe takes that out again, there will be no coming back for Illusion.
Ignite Afterburning as soon as he passed... Ignite Afterburning. I never know how to describe that. Igniting the Afterburners as soon as he heads back past the Overlords. Going to extend himself right into the main base, and Vibe doesn't have a lot here to defend.
Yeah, I mean, Vibe's really worried about that bottom left base. He knows that's the important battle spot of this game. A Queen coming back to defend. Perhaps Vibe's just going to use his rally point. If he can take out the medevac.
Oh, he's trying to. The Hydrogen got taken out, by the way. The Queen cowering underground, get a burrow immediately. Roach is coming back, but Illusion just going to go to the National Expansion, taking down the drones, mining gas. Illusion great with his priorities, taking out the Hydrogen, taking out the drones, mining the gas, trying to take out the gas as well. Illusion trying to snipe that Investor, but it looks like Vibe will eventually clean this up.
Vibe cleans it up. Illusion's rallying more and more forces to the bottom left. Is he going to go down the ramp again? I think that was his critical flaw last game.
He's trying to leapfrog.
He's got to stay on top of the ramp where he has a concave. If he goes down, we'll see a repeat of the last battle where the beautiful Hydra concave hit from every angle.
Here come the Vipers. Look out, tanks.
His tank, he's going down the ramp.
Goodbye, tanks, as they're coming forward. They're trying to siege up, trying to do what they can, but Vibe going to engage with the Hydra and the Roaches. He might go for it. Blinding Cloud's going to go on top of these Marines Marauders. Infestors are here as well. There go the Buckles. What does Illusion do to deal with this? I don't think he can do much. He can't move. He can't shoot. He can't breathe, and Vibe is going to try to come forward, but here is where Illusion's position might be a little bit better, but Vibe, he doesn't care. He's coming forward with the Roaches and Hydras, and Illusion having trouble coming up with an answer.
Oh, he's still got a small squadron of Marines, but almost all that's left is medevacs. More reinforcements coming from Illusion. Infested Terrans go down. This time there's no planetary, and I think Vibe's going to take it right here. Vibe
of 159 to 98 supply. Illusion has some Widow Mines. Could that be the savior? Taking some shots off onto the Roaches and the Hydras. Boom! But I don't know if that's going to be enough here. Illusion desperately trying to stay in this game, knows how important this is. We're at the 36-minute mark of game number 2. Keep in mind, game 1 was 30 minutes long. What an intense best of 5 we have on our hands, and it might get tied up right here as Vibe takes out the last mining base of Illusion. And there's the GG from Illusion. Vibe evens up the series. 37-minute game. We're only 2 games in. This is the best series we've seen so far.
Yeah, what an amazing back and forth game there. Illusion, some greater ass, but this game, Vibe shut down their ass just a little bit better. And then at the bottom left, every single battle, Vibe had the greater concave. Illusion was walking those concaves, and Vibe, he just came in from every angle, blinding clouds everywhere, and he took that game, man.
Yeah. Guys, take a break, sit down, breathe a little bit.
Grab yourself a beer or orange juice,
whatever you prefer, glass of milk. We're tied 1-1 in this best of 5 winter season showdowns. Vibe and Illusion going toe-to-toe, so back and forth, and this series is only just beginning. Guys, game 3 is coming up next. Stay tuned.